because whether you like them, woo, or you don't, they are the best thing, woo, in the football world today. Woo!
Don't go backwards.
Welcome back to Booty Picks, the college pick'em where all the picks are ass. I'm the host, Doug Dickey, former head coach of the Florida Gators, way back before any of you Gen Zers were born. With me, as always, is Mac Murky. Murky? It's a little murky in here.
Yeah.
Mac Murphy and Champ Brantley Jr.
Howdy.
How are you guys doing this week?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, I had an okay week last week. The streak remains strong, not going over 500. Going over 500's for fucking losers anyways. So, yeah, it was fun slate last week on the bye week. But looking forward to getting into it this week, even though I'm kind of lukewarm on the board. But, you know.
Yeah, it was nice last weekend to be able to sit down and watch football all day. It was us being avid, season ticket holders and going to every game we can. We don't get that too often. And then even on the road games, we have the stress of, well, if we lose, our day is kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Just our attitude's fucked. But on the bye week, it's nice. You get to watch and just be a college football fan. So it was a great weekend. And a lot of good games this week. I've said it the past few weeks that October is a loaded month of games. Like there's tons of good games each week.
Yeah, as Max said, we're season ticket holders. We got to show up and do our job every week. So it was nice to watch the college football on Saturday. A couple good games. Just to echo their thoughts there. No, we were on a booty bye last week, so they did not pick for the weekend. We can't hold it against them. I have no idea how they did. I have to believe that they're being honest when they say that they did pretty good. We probably know that they actually did pretty bad. That being said, let's roll into the games for Week 9. We're going to start Saturday at noon o'clock. The first game up, number 2, Ohio State at number 13, Penn State. Ohio State giving 15.5 points here. The over-under is 61 points. This is the big noon kickoff. It's still fucking weird that the big noon cherishes, or the Big Ten cherishes noon kickoffs. I'm curious as to whether CBS will continue that, or if they're going to put them at 3:30. I don't know. It's dumb. Losers play at noon. That being said, go ahead, Mac. You can pick first.
I think Ohio State's good. I think Penn State is not. Regardless if they're at home, they'll try to make this. James Franklin is something like 1-7 against Ohio State since he's been there, and he's something like.
It's crazy he's been there that long.
Yeah, I think Ohio State will win this one handily. I think Ohio State's better than Michigan, and Michigan beat the dog shit out of Penn State. I would go 15.5. I would take the points in Ohio State. I think they win this by 20+.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I totally agree. I think Ohio State's going to easily cover the 15.5. They covered 30 last week against Iowa, and Penn State. Their only loss is to Michigan, and Michigan beat them by 24. So even though that they beat the shit out of Minnesota last week, I love Ohio State in this spot. I think that the line should be probably more like 21. So yeah, I think the Bucks are going to kill them.
Does Penn State do their whiteout games at noon?
I don't know. That's another thing is I think if it was a night game that I might be a little bit more trepidatious in picking Ohio State in that big spread, but I think Ohio State's going to handle business. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what is a whiteout at noon? It would be there's no energy.
I mean, it would be really hard to see because the light would be blinding.
Yeah, true. It'd be like one of those solar ovens that you make in second grade.
Could work for them.
Yeah,
Could work.
maybe.
All right, next game up, number 7, TCU Horned Frogs at West Virginia. TCU giving 7.5 points here, and the over/under is a nice 69 on ESPN at noon.
Nice.
Take us away, Mac.
Yeah, this one's a little weird. TCU covered last week against Kansas State. Kansas State was a hot pick to upset them. People, I guess, were thinking that TCU's luck is going to run out, and it certainly could. This is the perfect spot for them to lose. Like, this would be so Big 12 for them to lose this game. They're the only undefeated team left, loses to a non-contender in the conference. That's just screams Big 12 to me. But I like TCU a lot. They almost didn't cover last week. They ended up. They saved me. That's the sign. Is the Horned Frogs. I like them to cover 7.5. I think they're better. They're I think they could win by 10, 15. West Virginia. They've kind of been dead to me.
Yeah, they stink.
They got smoked by Texas Tech last week.
Mm-hmm. Bad. Yeah, I think TCU is the easy pick here. Like you said, this is Big 12 trap game territory, but I don't think that this is the one that West Virginia loses. Doug, would you look up who their next like 3 opponents are? I think they got Texas coming up, so they're due to lose one, but it's not going to be this week. West Virginia sucks ass until they get their shit together and hire Mark Stoops. Then they're just going to be, treading water, and So I think the TCU is not going to fall this week, and I think they're going to roll them. I love the Horned Frogs minus 7.5. I have no read on the over under. I think TCU could win big, and when those lines get or when those scores get, or I should say when the deficit is big, you don't know how the over under is going to be, and I think this could be one of those games. So I like TCU to easily cover the 7.5.
Yeah, so just for posterity, the next games are Iowa State, at home against Oklahoma, at home against Kansas State, and at Oklahoma State. That is.
Wait, for TCU?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking about West Virginia. Give me one second.
No, yeah. No, West Virginia. I don't think West Virginia's coach is going to make it to the end of the season. They're pretty bad.
That's West Virginia's schedule for those of you who care.
Okay.
TCU is at home next against Texas Tech. Then they're at Texas, at Baylor, and then have the Iowa State Cyclones at home.
Yeah, and I think they could lose any one of those games, and I think that'll be the letdown. They might go 3-1 in that or 1-3 in that stretch. So I think their time is coming, but it's not here yet.
Okay, next game up at noon on Saturday will be Notre Dame at Syracuse in the Dome. Syracuse giving 2.5 points, and the over/under is 48. This one is on ABC. Go ahead, Mac.
This one is
a toughie.
Is tough because I really like Syracuse. They should have won last week. Then they Clemson tried every way possible to give them that game.
Yeah, but they played bad.
I think in their offensive, their play calling got very scared because Garrett Schrader one drive picked them apart throwing the ball, and then they just nah, we don't need to throw anymore. I like over 48 in this. I think both teams will get over 20 points, and that puts you almost there. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame wins this game. With Syracuse coming on off a letdown spot, like after riding the high of
Yeah.
of that close loss. I think
The moral victory.
Yeah, I think you could let Clemson beat them 2 weeks in a row. So, but I'm not gonna. Actually, I'm gonna take Notre Dame plus 2.5. Take Notre Dame plus 2.5.
You're not touching the over under?
I'm not gonna double dip on this game.
Okay. Well, I love the over. I think 48 is such a low number. And Syracuse, I mean, they can score. That QB played decent, and Notre Dame, I mean, they can also score, and their defense isn't great. So I think that's going to equal an over. Um, Last week, Notre Dame beat UNLV pretty bad, but the week before they lost to Stanford. So I think they're still trying to get right from that game. Um, and Q's, I think they're trying to get right from that Clemson game. So I think it's going to equal a lot of points. I'm taking over 48.
Okay. Next is, so you said this is a revenge game we have coming up here. It's Arkansas at Auburn. Arkansas is giving 3.5 points. The over under then is 61.5. Is this the game last year where Bo Nix fumbled by spiking the ball backwards?
I think that was the COVID year.
Or
It was 2020. Yeah.
so, but they played.
I confirmed with Danny Walmart earlier.
Oh, okay.
Who is now single, by the way, if there's any eligible bachelorettes in the chat that are looking for a stud.
So it's not a revenge because they played last year.
They did. They play every year.
Yeah, so it's not really.
But it's still revenge. I mean, it was at Jordan Hare.
Oh,
So
okay.
that
they're in.
that was
Okay.
his thing. It was like they cheat in Jordan Hare. So, we'll see.
And by the way, just as a reminder to everyone, it is the Auburn Plainsmen that are playing, not the Tigers, not the War
3 and
Eagle,
4.
because they're playing and they suck. And until you're good, we're calling you the Plainsmen on this show. No further questions at this time. Go ahead, champ.
I love Arkansas. I've been hot on Arkansas all year. I love them in this spot. I think Auburn is one of the worst teams in the SEC, if not, well, they're not the worst because there's Vandy, but I think they're very, very bad. And Arkansas can score. KJ Jefferson is pretty good, even though Arkansas is still playing with an injured secondary and defense. I don't think that's going to matter against this Auburn team since they suck so bad. Love the Pigs -3.5. I would take them -7.5. So hammer, Suey, and I think that they're going to go in there and kick their ass, even if the refs do try to cheat.
Okay, next game up. I'm just kidding, Mac. I got you though.
I'd hate this game. I hate it. I could see the final score of this game being 24-10. Either way, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, what did Auburn do? Did Auburn play last? No, they were off.
No, they played Ole Miss.
Week. No,
they
LSU played Ole Miss
last week. Yeah, you're right.
Give me Arkansas 3.5. I'm probably not going to put real money on this game because that stinks both ways. I hate it. God, I hate the next game too. Fucking A, man.
It's a weird. You told us that there's a bunch of good games.
There are.
October.
I'll run through the good games. Ohio State, Penn State, good game. Notre Dame at Syracuse, I think that's a good game. TCU at West Virginia, not a bad game for noon. 3:30 slate. Oak State, K State, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ole Miss at A&M. Pitt at UNC is not bad, there's better, but it's not a bad. Next week's slate is loaded too. I think we have Alabama, LSU next week. Could be wrong, but okay. So yeah, move Arkansas minus 3.5. I'll do it for single Danny Dimes Walmart.
Yep. And Danny Dimes will be open to any Dimes who are, ready to have him. He's got a huge cock, probably. I don't know.
I feel like the last part was unnecessary, but moving right
It's
along
not.
here.
I don't know.
That was
It's coming from you.
It's a little weird, I guess, but I never met him except for podcasts, and we weren't even on video at that point, so I've never seen his face before.
Or his dick.
Kind of weird. No, definitely not. Anyway, off the rails.
I've actually opposite. I've never seen his face, but I've seen his dick a lot.
He says it to me every weekend.
Alrighty then. Next game up. I don't know what time this game is on at. You're gonna have to check your local TV guide.
I think it's noon.
Oklahoma at Iowa State. Neither of these teams are ranked. Both of them probably suck. The over-under's 51. Our secretary didn't give me the line.
It's a pick'em.
It's a pick'em. I don't know what that means. I just host the show. I don't gamble.
No line.
There's no line, they said. I feel like that's dumb, but I guess
Pick
they
the
do
winner.
both suck. Pick the winner. Who's going to win?
I'll tell you who's gonna win. The fucking Sooners. I love the Sooners here. Iowa State sucks. Matt Campbell's a fat fucking pussy. Dylan Gabriel is back for Oklahoma. He had 400 yards last week against Kansas. I think this is an easy pick, one of the easiest of the weekend. Oklahoma money line. The over looks good too, but I love Oklahoma in this spot. Iowa State, I can't understand why they get any respect from Vegas. They're terrible. They're on a 4-game skid. They've lost to Baylor, Kansas, K-State, and Texas, and Oklahoma is, well, they're probably the 5th worst out of that group. No, they beat Kansas, so yeah, no, they'll beat these fuckers. I think Matt Campbell is. I have zero respect for him, and I think Venables is going to get the best of them.
Matt, go ahead.
I think you just gotta this type of game. Pick over 56. I'm not gonna pick that because I have I have no faith in these teams. But I have faith that they can score points and not stop anyone. I do have that faith.
Yeah, there was 97 points scored again in Oklahoma's game last week.
Who did they play?
Kansas.
Jeez. Poor Kansas. We thought they were good.
Not poor Kansas. They're pretty good.
We thought they were better, and I feel bad for them. That brings us to 3:30. Excuse me. The first game up at this time is the number 9 Oklahoma State Cowboys at the number 22 Kansas State, some sort of cat. And this is also a pick'em. The over-under is 56. I think I'm having a stroke. You guys go ahead and tell us about these games.
I think this pick'em I feel a lot better about. I think Oklahoma State. I think both these teams are good. I'm going to pick Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State's going to finish 11-1 and get a rematch with TCU at the end of the season in the Big 12 championship. So I'm going to roll with that pick. I think Oak State's going to win it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love Oak State. What was the over-under?
56.
56. Yeah, I don't like that because Oklahoma State is one of the only Big 12 teams that can't seem to score.
What?
Well, they're not like a. Well, I guess they're pretty.
They
good,
have
but,
like a top-ranked offense in the country right now.
Is that true? Maybe I'm just stigmatizing them, but yeah, I like Oak State to win the game. I think that's an easy pick.
Yeah, they have the 24th ranked offense in the country.
Well, then, yeah, easy. I like the 56, but I like Oak State even more. I think that they're going to win the game easily. Might double dip it. We'll see.
Another pick'em, number 20.
And the 4th scoring offense at 43.9 points per game.
Yeah, Spencer Sanders, right?
Yeah, he's been there for like 8 years now.
Yeah, he's good.
Unruly, just out of control on this podcast.
I'm gonna put me down for over 56 too.
Did you both
I'm
pick
gonna
that?
double dip.
Yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it.
Over
Coming in my hole.
56.
Yeah, I'll come in your home. Send me, bro.
Only took us about 30 minutes to start coming in each other's holes.
Yeah, I need a little foreplay, you know.
Okay, next game up, number 20, Cincinnati at UCF. Also a pick 'em. Over under is 56 points again. I'm sensing a theme here. Vegas is getting. There's a glitch in the matrix, is what it is.
I think someone might have copy and pasted like 3 times.
Check it then.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're the.
Nah. Nope.
It can't.
Ain't gonna check. No, I'm
Oh,
pretty
no,
sure
it's
that's.
this one's also even. What the fuck?
I know
There's
it's
a
or
glitch.
it's like a 1-point game,
Glitch in
but
the
whatever.
matrix. Over under is also 56. This is very wild.
Told y'all. Yeah, I love Cincy here. Cincy is 6-1. Their only loss was in week 1 versus Arkansas, who was healthy at the time and pretty good. Even though they've had a couple close wins, UCF got killed by ECU last week, 34-13. So I like Cincy in this spot to win the game. I think this is a pretty easy one. There's several easy ones, and this is one of them. Cincy money line. Let's go.
Mac.
Bearcats.
I hope you got room in your hole because I'm coming in it.
It's a little tight, but we can squeeze you in.
I love Cincinnati here. I love them.
Hell yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Go Bearcats. Munchie go.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Moving right along. Northwestern at Iowa. Iowa giving 11 points. The over-under, the highest over-under Iowa's had this year, I believe. Don't fact check me. 37.5. Oh, wow. Both of these teams are really bad. I just looked at the stat sheet. Go ahead, champ.
This is a stink fest. This is a 1-6 team versus a 3-4 team, and two of the worst ones. We haven't seen Northwestern win since they were. We haven't seen them win in America in many months. They won in Ireland against Scott Frost, and they haven't won since. Iowa can't score fucking anything. Uh, I've been tempted to take these fucking unders every week, or to take the over for Iowa every week. They're begging me to do it, but I fucking won't, and I won't do it anymore. And it's wrong, and
Garbage, and it's rubbish.
fucking Iowa, they can't score 11, so I'm going under 37.5, because who fucking knows?
Mac, how do you feel about it?
Good pick. Good pick.
Don't tell me that.
I took the under last week in the Ohio State game. That's on me. We'll get it fixed. I should have took team. Well, Iowa might have hit their team total last week. I think the play is take. I wonder what Iowa's team total is. Probably like 17 or 20, and Northwestern's is probably 10. Under 37.5. I don't see any way either of these teams score north of 20.
Is this going to be another punt graphic game?
This is
very Mel Waby. Very Mel Waby.
Game day should be here, if we're being honest. This is
Game day.
37.
That's what they should start doing. Is they should start going to the worst game of the week and giving those people something to be happy about. But you won't, Kirk Herbstreit, because you have no honor.
Coward.
They would be at every Big Ten West game, though. Like
that's fine. Give them something to be happy about.
It would be Northwestern, Iowa, Northwestern,
Rutgers,
Indiana.
They could go to
Rutgers
Vandy
in the East. I think Indiana's in the East too. Yeah, or like a
Indiana
Vandy, Mizzou. What's another?
just bad games. Arizona versus Wazoo.
Yeah, or there's some stinkers in the ACC, like a Duke.
Boston College.
Who's
Yeah.
playing NC State?
We picked that one. Vatek.
Tech, yeah, they're bad.
Oh, Virginia Duke. That would be an awful. Just
Barn burner.
uh,
Miami versus anyone.
we're talking all this shit, but the Big 12, find a bad matchup in the Big 12. Like maybe Iowa this
No,
year, Iowa
Big
State,
12 is
Oklahoma.
Big 12 is one of the best conferences of the year. Baylor has been losing. Kansas is good. Uh, TCU, we don't even know. They're undefeated, and we don't even know if they're good. Texas is hot and cold. Oklahoma stinks. Like, it's very exciting, that conference.
It's a wild year of football.
It is. This is the most 2007 game or a season we've had since 2007, for sure.
And I would kill for a game day at like Toledo, Miami of Ohio game.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
why
yeah.
are we
Oh,
keeping
action is coming up.
these people from being happy? There's no reason.
Yeah.
Let's let them shine a little bit.
Is Maction Tuesdays or Wednesdays?
Tuesdays.
Ah, fuck. So we're barely going to be able to pick them on this show.
Wait. Hold on. Maction.
It is nice to have football like almost every night.
I feel like they're on Wednesdays.
November 2nd. They are on. Oh, it is Wednesdays. Oh, no,
Nice.
there's a game on the 1st, too. That's Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Hell yeah.
Yeah, just turnover battles. It's going to be electric.
Oh.
Akron versus fucking.
Like that is a conference that their awareness is
Yep.
is
They're
great.
self-aware.
Because they're like, hey, why don't we just have everyone play on Tuesdays and Wednesdays when no one else is playing? And
it's all about the Benjamins,
like
baby. Gotta get the money.
It truly is. ACC does the same shit with Thursday
and Friday
because they're getting down to the wire, and they're like, man, these people are, craving football, and the weather's cool. Yeah,
they should do it in fucking September,
Genius.
if you ask me.
God, I love it too because there's always like one or two games that are like just a nasty snow game, like where it's just like the wind is like 30 miles an hour and it's just white out there, and they're like they you can't see the ball, it's snapped over a head, or they drop every punt. The punter drops the punt, then gets it off, and then the return man drops the punt. It's just nothing like
no matter how bad the weather is, they still have the same amount of turnovers. That is constant no matter what. They're going to turn the ball over 4 or 5 times a game, each team. It's beautiful.
All right.
But I digress. We're off the rails.
Let's get back on track here. This moves us to 4 p.m. Mizzou at number 25, South Carolina.
Yep.
Wow, I hate my life. They're 5-2. Fuck.
Yep.
Okay, I guess I don't know what is up and down anymore, but Mizzou at number 25, South Carolina. South Carolina giving 4 points. The over-under is 47. This one's on SEC Network. Take us away with your pick, champ.
I hate this game. This is just so South Carolina. They're favored, but that's inflated because they beat Texas A&M last week. Mizzou, like we've stated on this podcast before, it's like playing quicksand. They're impossible to play well against. Frank Beamer, is it Frank Beamer? No, Shane Beamer. Yeah, Hunter Biden of college football. I think that Mizzou is going to play him close. But I mean, the line isn't very big, so I don't like that anyways. Ugh. I'm going to hold my nose and take the over since the number is low. I hate betting just a numbers type of pick, but that's what I'm going to do here since I have no read on it. I like over 47, and I hate the pick, so fade me.
How do you feel, Mac?
I like under 47 in this. I think Mizzou's defense is not bad, and I still just don't believe in South Carolina as on the offensive side of the ball. I know they dropped 30 on A&M, but I think under 47 is a play.
You think that their defense is better than Texas A&M?
I think the team is in a better place than what Texas A&M was.
They held Vandy to 14 last week.
Exactly. I think this is going to be like a 21-17 game.
In fact, if you combine the South Carolina and Mizzou points from last week, it equals 47.
Correct.
So not great.
Texas A&M is in shambles.
Truly.
I feel like that factors in. That being said, I don't bet because I'm afraid. 7 p.m. Good game. We will know whether or not at this time. Actually, we will know that. I should say. Let me amend my previous statement. We will know at this time that the Georgia Bulldogs have lost to the Florida Gators.
Correct.
And Kentucky at number 19 Kentucky at number 3 Tennessee. Tennessee only giving 12.5 points here with an over under of 63.5. This one's on ESPN, and I think this is the Kirk Herbstreit game.
What does that mean?
I don't really think it means anything. I know that at KSR Radio, Matt Jones was talking about how cool that was. I happened to see that on Twitter this week. So,
what, it says like game of the week or something?
I think so. Yeah, it's the ESPN 7 p.m. game, so it's the biggest. It's the game of the week. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on this podcast, game of the week's always Florida. So
this is also true, but when we defeat Georgia, we are going to need Kentucky to derail Tennessee's season so that we don't have to listen to them say, feels like 98. Because I hate them. So That being said, take us away with your pick, champ.
For many years, I've been not sleeping on Kentucky. And for many years, they've let me down. And they've especially let me down whenever Florida plays them. This is going to be Mark Stoops' ticket out of this hellhole. He's going to get a big job, hopefully, at Penn State or Washington State or Oregon State or Arizona State or, any kind of place that's outside of the Southeast. I think that Kentucky, God, they need to fucking win the game for fuck's sake. I mean, we need Tennessee to stop. The Tennessee fans are the most insufferable fucking winners, besides maybe Florida fans, but we're better at it. They're the worst. I mean, they have nothing to be proud of for 30 years. So I would just love to see their season get derailed. That being said, I'm not going to touch the point spread, even though I'm highly confident that Kentucky's going to win the game. But I think it's going to go under. I think Mark Stoops actually does have a good defense. Kentucky held the two best offenses they played have been Ole Miss and who's the other one I have? It's
Mississippi State.
Yeah, Mississippi State. They held them both to under 25, I think. So I think that the under is the play in this game. I think it's a little bit too fat at 63.5. So I'm going under 63.5.
They also held Florida to 17 points? Is that right?
Yeah, right.
So, and Florida's averaging 31 points a game. So it's not
correct. We're a juggernaut.
Not crazy, but.
And we're going to be averaging 55 after this weekend.
That's very true because we're winning 100-0.
Big.
Mac, go ahead.
I think something like Mark Stoops is 1-6 or 1-4 all time at Tennessee. Or
I think he's 1-4 all time.
There you go with your stats again.
Yeah.
So I think Tennessee's good. I think Tennessee's going to beat him by a lot.
No fun.
Tennessee essentially had a bye week last week against UT Martin. So
Hey, Will Levis is going to be the first overall pick in the draft. Okay, he is a generational quarterback. Hendon Hooker's a fraud, and I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to lie anymore.
Are you telling me
you
you're
know?
taking Tennessee in the points? Is that the pick?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought. But
Traitor. I hate that pick.
yeah, I'll be very sad if they
blow them out.
And
Also they have Georgia next week. This is a prime overlook them spot because they think they own Kentucky, but Tennessee does not own shit, and they need to be reminded of that. So, carry on. I think that they're going to overlook them, and definitely
feels like 98. God, I hate that.
Fuck.
It's the worst, man. I hate you, Dan Mullen.
It feels like 84. That's the last time,
I hate Dan Mullen.
Yes.
He put us in this spot, and I have to live with it. And he gets to have $12 million. I don't understand why the world is the way that it is. Anyhow, 7:30, the number 15 Ole Miss Rebels travel to Aggie Land to take on the Texas A&M Aggies. Ole Miss giving 2.5 points to the over-under of 54.5. What? Well, I guess I didn't score anything against LSU, so that makes sense. Anyway, go ahead, champ.
Yeah, I think you alluded to it. I really like the over here. I'm actually going to double dip because I really like Ole Miss here. I think Texas A&M is fucking played out. Both of these teams are coming off of losses. So normally I would go with the hungry dog, but both of these dogs are hungry. Mississippi State still has a shot at winning the West. They have to beat Alabama still, but I think that they passed the test at Kyle Field, and I think that the game will go over 54.5. I like Ole Miss to roll them. I think that they're gonna avenge their loss to South Carolina, and yeah, go Rebs.
So the West is still wide the fuck open.
Yeah.
LSU controls their destiny.
I hate that.
Who was it that beat Alabama? Tennessee. Sorry, and Alabama controls their destiny. Ole Miss does not control their destiny. They need work. But
They're 7-1.
Yeah, they don't control their destiny though.
They lost to who'd they lose to last week?
LSU.
It was
LSU. They
yeah.
don't
Okay,
control.
you're right. You're right.
I know I'm fucking right, dude.
He's got the charts.
I haven't even pulled those bitches out. I don't even need to. I got it. It's all up here. I like Ole Miss -2.5. They fucked me big time last week. And not the good. They didn't come in my hole. They didn't. So I'm gonna give them one more chance. Or this is a dead to me game for them. If they lose or don't cover, they're dead to me.
Ole Miss.
Yeah. Yep. They're done. They're done. They're done. If you can't beat this A&M team by more than 2.5 points, you're dead to me.
Throat slash.
All right, that pulls us to Baylor at Texas Tech. Texas Tech giving 2.5 points. The over-under is 63.5 on ESPN2. Mac, take us away.
I just need some clarification here. Texas Tech beat. This is what the paper says. Texas Tech beat Texas Tech 48-10 last week. Am I reading that correct?
Yeah, they beat themselves off.
They beat West Virginia, right? Was that so? They won.
Yes.
Okay, making sure. I still like Baylor in the points in this game. I think Baylor's a good football squad. And I also like over 63.5. So I am going to double dip on this one. I'm going to go Baylor plus 2.5. I need a dog. I don't think I have picked a dog yet.
That's Notre Dame.
And they were 2.5 too. There's the sign. Baylor plus 2.5 and over 63.5. I think both these teams will score a lot of points.
Champ, are you coming in this hole?
Yes. If you'll have me, I'd like to come in your hole. I don't know why Baylor is not favored in this. I mean, I know that Lubbock can get a little bit crazy, especially at night, but Baylor's a better football team. They beat Kansas last week. Um, so yeah, I like the Bears, the Baylor Bears. I think Texas Tech is good, but they're not that good. So I think Baylor needs to get right. I think they're underperforming this year, and I think this is still kind of a reactionary line from who they lose to 2 weeks ago. Was it BYU? Did BYU beat them?
I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway, yeah, well, I think they're getting disrespect for this line, so I love them as a dog. I love the Baylor Bears. Dave Aranda is going to get them right, and yeah.
All right, last game of the night, 8 p.m. Pitt travels to number 21 UNC. UNC giving just 3 points, and the over/under is 64.5. Go ahead with your picks here, Mac.
I like UNC -3. UNC's they're kind of fluky, but I don't believe in Pitt. If you lose to that Louisville team, you're dead to me. UNC's at home. I like UNC -3.
All right, champ.
Yeah, so I think that both of these defenses suck ass. So I'm going to go over 64.5. UNC is 6-1 somehow. I don't know how the fuck that happened. But they've been winning close games. They beat Duke 38-35 a couple weeks ago. They're coming off a bye week, but Slovis can score. Pitt, their defense can't stop anybody. They lost to Louisville last week. But yeah, I like the over 64.5.
All right, well, that does it for this week's. It's week 9 of college football. Does it for this week's Booty Picks show, the College Pick'em show, where every single last pick is ass, sort of like the Florida Gators defense on third and long. I'm Doug Giffey, signing off.